Its history is a long and winding road full of twists and turns that have led us to West Chicago. It all began when my grandparents left their home in search of a better life. Like many other immigrants, they sought financial stability and religious freedom. My ancestors were part of a group of Christians that had broken off from the Catholic Church during the Reformation in the 1500s. They were often referred to as Anabaptists, and they faced great persecution for their religious belief. The name Anabaptist means to baptize again, as they baptized members when they were in adulthood and strongly believed in the separation of church and state. Now, my family was part of the Dutch movement that followed Menno Simons, called the Mennonites. You may have heard of them. Mennonites were peaceful people who opposed violence and refused to take oaths or participate in lawsuits. Their beliefs often put them at odds with the authorities, leading to property confiscation, imprisonment, and even death. Imagine being forced to choose between your faith and your safety, your home, and your family. That's the impossible decision my ancestors faced. With their marriages declared void, their children deemed illegitimate by the government, and their religious gatherings forbidden, they had no choice but to flee. Sadly, an impossible choice some people are still forced to make even across the world today. Now, for my ancestors, the Americas offered a hope of a new life. William Penn had founded Pennsylvania in 1681 as a safe haven for those seeking religious freedom. By 1717, Mennonites were flocking to this new settlement in Pennsylvania. Among them was my great-great-great-grandfather, who arrived in Philadelphia on the ship Molly with 70 other Mennonite families. They settled in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, becoming part of a community mistakenly referred to as Pennsylvania Dutch. These German-speaking immigrants were actually Deutsch, a word that was later anglicized to Dutch. But the journey didn't end there for my family. After the Revolution, many Mennonites, including my family, left Pennsylvania. Their refusal to serve in the military during the war branded them as traitors, forcing them to seek refuge elsewhere. My family started over in New York, where they lived for 18 years before settling here in the state of Illinois in 1847. Now, when my grandparents arrived in this area, they purchased a 122-acre farm at the southwest corner of what is now you folks call Route 38 and Fabian Parkway. At one point, they were the only farm in the township producing clover seed. They also made beeswax and honey. After almost 30 years on the farm, our family moved into Turner proper. My father, Christian, was one of 7 children, 4 of whom came west to live in Illinois. They attended the German Baptist Church, informally known as the Dunkarts, a name that referred to their practice of immersing adults for baptism. The congregation, now called the Church of the Brethren, still exists today in Naperville. Now, I was the oldest of his 8 children. My sisters married into local families with names that might even be familiar to some of you: the Gloos, Fairbank, and Barkdall. My wife, Lucinda, buried next to me here, Pratt, her maiden name, and I were married on January 3rd, 1871, and we had 5 children of our own. Now, I passed away at the age of 65 in 1909 and was laid to rest here in Oakwood Cemetery, alongside 3 generations of Martins. My family's story is truly a testament to the enduring human spirit and the pursuit of religious freedom. Thank you.
Your name.